Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're joining us live today, or if a friend invited you to watch this recording, we're glad that you took this time to learn how you can help yourself to feel like yourself again. So, this call is designed for women over 40. And to give you Edith and I's top tools that we've found incredibly helpful over the past year in dealing with a lot of the changes that our mind, body, and even especially for me, my skin that I was going through. So my name is Petra Cleary, and I'm joined today by Edith Amamwa. And again, we're sharing our top 6 tools for women over 40. So let's jump right into it. Did you know that there are more than 100 symptoms of perimenopause? There's actually like 101 and counting. And so many of us, we may feel a little different in our body. Our bodies may start to behave and look a little different. And we're like, why didn't anyone tell me? Well, the answer to that, my friend, is maybe your mom, your close friends, your sister, maybe they did not and are not experiencing the things that you have or that you are experiencing that's associated with perimenopause. It's different for each and every woman. And with over 100 symptoms, sometimes it's very difficult to pinpoint, like, yeah, it's perimenopause that's happening. We just sort of feel uneasy in our bodies and sometimes feel like we're kind of going crazy because we're like, what is happening to me? I'm not myself. And so I've been telling all of my friends my age that, listen, if there's anything about your day to day that you don't feel like yourself anymore, trust me, it's perimenopause. And the biggest thing that happens to us during perimenopause, all the way into menopause, with the fluctuation of the estrogen and progesterone levels, is that our bodies then become more susceptible to oxidative stress. Every time I think about oxidation, I think about rusting, right? So that's our bodies basically rusting from the inside out. But now it's doing it more rapidly. Now it's more aggressive because of that decline or fluctuation in estrogen. Then, when we pair that with the stage of life we're in, we're either helping with children. Many of us are also helping with our parents. It's midlife. We're like stuck in the middle. There's a lot coming at us as far as work, family, um, finances, planning for our future. We're just stuck in the middle of a gigantic bookends of stress, internal and external stress. And what I've been looking for mainly as I'm learning more about what happens to our bodies and learning more about what's happening to my body in particular, I've been searching for products that are going to combat that, not only internal oxidative stress, but also that are going to help me and help my body to adapt to a lot of the external stress that's happening. And that's exactly what Edith and I started researching. We started going through products. We found an incredible company that meet our product philosophy, our ingredient philosophy, that has the integrity and the science that we're looking for. And we're both really, really big on this. So we're going to try our best not to get too scientific and technical, but just really give you the key ingredients. And then most importantly, what we found that we love about these products and exactly how they're working for us. So there's, like I said, so many things that are happening, but we're going to focus on really like 4 categories. And under those 4 categories are a bajillion symptoms that you may be experiencing. The first one is the big one: energy and sleep. About 40% of perimenopausal women have sleep problems or insomnia. That are suffering from like severe fatigue. Like no matter what you do, you just don't have the energy. You hit a certain point by 2 p.m., 3 p.m., you're ready to crash. Your brain and body is just ready to take it down after just a few hours of being awake. The other one is increased risk for heart disease. That's huge for women over 40. And that's because, again, of the decline in levels of estrogen. And that contributes to unfavorable changes in our cholesterol, increasing those chances. So we're looking at things that are going to help with managing healthy cholesterol as well as metabolic dysfunction, which also increases. So that, may put some people at being like pre-diabetic or borderline diabetic or even diabetic, or may have some other metabolic dysfunction that's happening. Those all contribute to that increased risk of heart disease. The cognitive function. Ooh, this is when I knew that I was no longer functioning like Petra. I am a true go-getter. I'm really organized. And no matter how many to-do lists I did, no matter what reminders, no matter what I was doing, all the tools that I normally use to be a go-getter and get things done, it just wasn't happening. Right? I was starting to experience kind of not total brain fog. I kind of had like a brain overcast, right? But really I was starting to see like that late set onset adult ADHD. And guys, I've been doing some research, and this is so common in women our age, including short-term memory problems, and most importantly, difficulty concentrating on task. And part of it, I really feel, is like my mood. I just lost the motivation to do things. Then I was tired. Then I just couldn't focus on things when it was time. So that was my biggest aha, like, Petra, something is changing, right? The weight fluctuation, that happens over the years, though it has been harder to lose, um that belly fat, that midsection. But this is what really was flashing lights for me. Mood and libido, irritability, anxiety, even signs of depression will occur with the hormonal changes. And for some, changes in libido, whether it's low libido or even high libido, and also changes in our vaginal flora. Just some people may start experiencing vaginal dryness or more irritation during intercourse. And so all of those things are normal. And so many things fall under these four categories, which is why we're focusing on these main categories than just individual symptoms. So let's get into it. The perfect pairing. So Edith and I just discovered this product in the Partner Co lineup. And it's really popular right now. You may see on social media, a lot of people are talking about magnesium because people realize, wow, it helps you to have more restful sleep. It also helps with anxiety and symptoms of depression. And what Partner Co has done has perfectly paired magnesium and vitamin D, which are both essential for women as we start aging. And they've also thrown in calcium. So the D3 helps with calcium absorption. So this is a great product for our bone health. It's a great product for our mood help. Again, I said I was searching for things to help me to deal with external stress, right? And then vitamin K is used for a nutrient absorption. So vitamin K is like the best friend of vitamin D. Vitamin D is that pal for calcium, and they all work well with magnesium. And so you have the perfect pairing of minerals and vitamins in this Magnical D. So you can hit so many things. The other thing that's happening is, no judgment, but a lot of people are getting injections for weight management or even to manage their diabetes. And a lot of those medications, the initial weight and the bulk of the weight that you lose on those things are it's muscle mass. It's not visceral fat, it's actual muscle mass. So this is a great supplement if you are using an injection or semaglutide to help with building bone density and building your muscle mass, which is really, really important. The next one, and this is one of my personal must-have. I've been using Noni since August, and I'll just quickly share my story, I decided to grab the noni because it's available in all 58 of our countries. And I was like, well, I definitely want to use this product. I ordered the noni when I was literally in the hospital. I had surgery on my lung cavity for reoccurring pneumonia and empyema. And I was discharged August, and I started using it then. And I started doing research on the noni, and I started reading the great tools and information that Partner Co provides its brand partners. And a couple of those things were a couple clinical studies on this Tahitian noni original. And what I read rocked my world. And as always, God aligns me with the things and people that I need at the right time. And so one of those studies shared that this particular brand of noni has had an impact in extending the life expectancy of people with certain types of cancer, long-term respiratory illnesses, as well as recovery from COVID-19. And when I read that, I was like, I'm going to start doubling up on my noni. In September, my pulmonologist said I still had a little bit of fluid on my lungs. That was normal, even post surgery. And it would take about 6 months to 12 months for my body to absorb it, reabsorb it, get rid of it, do all the things. I went back to him a month later in October. He was like, there's absolutely no fluid on your lungs. My surgeon told me it would take me about 6 months to a year to heal and recover. I did a lung capacity and like pulmonary test in October. And my pulmonologist was like, your lung function is back to normal. Your lung capacity is back to normal, which was a major concern. And he was like, you don't need to see me or any other pulmonologist unless something else happens. And so this specialist who saw me in the hospital, and I followed up with him afterwards, was expecting to see me for at least 6 months after being discharged from the hospital. And within 2 months, he was like, you're doing amazing, and I don't need to see you anymore. And I honestly give Noni the credit for that. It is such a superfood. I've always known it was. It is such an incredible superfood. Now, let me be clear, these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, prevent, or cure any diseases. Always consult your physician before starting a new supplement. But knowing what I was doing, what I was using, and what my specialists and doctors told me, I can honestly credit the Noni juice for my rapid recovery. And I doubled up on that. During that time. And so it helps with endurance. It helps with recovering athletes. It helps to sustain healthy joints, which is another issue we start to experience: the aches, the pains, the joints, the snap, crackling, popping every time we move. And these are all from clinical studies. This product has over 100 clinical studies over the past decade that have been done on this particular brand of noni juice. We're talking about these ingredients at this dosage. We cannot speak for any other noni juice you may find on Amazon or anywhere else. And what it does as a superfood, it helps with oxidative stress, the key things that Petra was looking for, right? It helps to support with heart health, cardiovascular health, all of your major organs and systems. And it really just tastes like black currant juice. It has blueberry in there. And I recently read that just eating 20 blueberries a day helps specifically with knee pain. And there was a clinical study done on that as well. So I love that this product includes blueberry and the grape, which has the resveratrol. In my mind, I consider that word reverse it all, because that's what resveratrol does. It's very potent in anti-aging properties to just keep your body young. Again, fighting that oxidative stress. So noni is a must. You can have it in the bottles, or we have the sachets, the individual packets, so you could take it on the go. If I'm traveling, I make sure I order that so I can have my noni every day. But on a regular at home, I love the glass bottles because it's less waste, but to me, it also tastes better coming out of the glass bottles. My next top is the Elite, and this is something I just started on last month, and I hit Edith up and was like, Edith, I have found the product for Petra. Like, this is the one for me. And a little bit about me, my degree's in biology. I'm very much a math and science girl. And so I will do my own experiments, right? And so I removed a couple products I was using that also say they do some of the things that this Elite does, because I wanted to know, experience, and feel exactly what this product was going to do for my body. And boy, oh boy, this is the one that brought me back. Talk about the focus. Talk about having the motivation again to get things done. My house is cleaner than it's ever been in the past 2 years, because I didn't have the energy or motivation to do anything. My business is more productive. Being in touch or just keeping track of like friends and family is at an all-time high in the past 2 years. I'm telling you, Petra is back, and it's because of the Elite, right? It does what it says, that triple threat. It helps with body, brain, lots of brain support for me, and beauty. I've been experiencing some skin issues, which is new to me. For the past 17 years, I've prided myself on immaculate skin and my skincare regimen. But again, being hospitalized for 13 days, being on heavy, heavy antibiotics for 2 months, has taken a toll on my skin. And one of the products that Edith is going to share tremendously helps me with my skin. And if I don't take it the way I take it, immediately my skin lets me know something is off. But this product has helped to bring my glow back. Actually, it's helped me with the actual appearance of my skin. And so what is in here that's so phenomenal? Some of the key ingredients, really quick: Indian gooseberry, again, super antioxidant. That's going to help with that oxidative stress. So it helps to keep the collagen that our body is producing, to keep it from breaking down really fast. And we need collagen for any and all connective tissue. So a lot of us think of it for skin. Yeah, it helps with keeping it nice and firm. But those aches and pains, the cracks and pops in your knee, you need collagen to help build those ligaments. We also need collagen for healthy bowel movements, right? The lining of our intestines start to, with less collagen being produced, they start to get really loose and kind of break down. There's no way to exercise that. So keeping that collagen going and keeping it from breaking down really fast is essential for a lot of different things. It also reduces wrinkles and dryness of the skin, which many of us start to experience. Astaxanthin, ooh, that's hard to say with my braces. That helps to boost the body's immune and support organs. It also helps with protecting your brain, heart, and joint. Ashwagandha, it is the ultimate mood food. Ashwagandha is so incredible when we're looking at handling external stress, as well as getting more restful sleep. It also helps to maintain healthy blood sugar. And something I've known, I've been using supplements with ashwagandha maybe for the past 3 years. So I've done my research on ashwagandha. And something it also helps with is our libido, quietly, especially in menopausal women. So ashwagandha is really great for helping to balance that out. The other key ingredients I want to note are evening primrose, holy basil, and red clover. And all of these historically have been known for a very, very long time to help women who are in menopause or perimenopause. That evening primrose is going to help with the relief of PMS symptoms, which is something else, right? Our menstrual cycles and the symptoms really start to change up once we hit 40. And it helps with the inflammation that we experience all over our body. Holy basil helps to lower those cortisol levels, the stress hormones. It helps improve mental clarity and helps with mental illness as we age. That red clover, that helps with the more common symptoms women start to talk about, as far as the hot flashes, the night sweats, all of those thermal changes in the body. And that's because that red clover mimics estrogen, so it helps to keep us from the fluctuation that we're experiencing. It also has anti-inflammatory properties that help to soothe our respiratory system. With, lo and behold, there are so many changes that happen in our ears, nose, and throat, and our respiratory system once you hit 45 and over. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's crazy what starts to happen to our bodies, but there's hope. And that's what we're sharing with you today. And so all of that is in one product, very simple to take, and you'll be excited to take it because it tastes really good. It just tastes like blueberry and grapes. It's a blueberry pomegranate flavor. On the go sachet, you could throw it in your bag, leave some at work, wherever, and just put it in 16 ounces of water and have not so sweet juice is basically what it's like. And so everyone can take it and it will help in so many ways. So I'm going to turn it over to Edith to share about the other three that we have found very helpful and that many of our clients are raving about. So Edith, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Petra. And everybody who's here, you're very welcome. I know some of you joined us at later on after we had started and done the introductions. So Petra has just finished talking about the first three products that we feel are really important for women our age and above and younger who are going through the life changes. I was talking to one of the girls, Kathy, and we were talking about the period coming and going and how women have to do this for 40 plus years, right? And almost all of it is not very nice. It's some people who have terrible periods and PMS and so on. And then when it's leaving, we were just laughing. And a friend of mine actually said, Edith, you need to make that a meme. I was like, when your periods are going, it's like having a visitor that's come for 40 plus years and they've overstayed their welcome. You really want them to go, but now they're leaving. They have to break everything in the house. They take your hair with them. They take your mood with them. They leave you depressed. And for some people, they break your marriage and so on. And and it's like, why can't you just go? Like, just go nicely, say goodbye, close the door, and voila, we won't see you again. But unfortunately, that is not how it works. And as you were talking about evening primrose oil and how I've taken evening primrose oil for the last couple of years, I'd buy, in fact, some of the ingredients in that Elite, I would have bought them separately in different supplements. So I've got evening primrose oil right now in capsules, in gel capsules. I've had red clover with estrogen in other capsules and so on. And a friend of mine came to me and said, do you know what you're taking? You got so many things. You got this pharmacy, all in aid of trying to get rid of these symptoms of perimenopause and menopause. And it's awesome when you can find, and that's what I told Petra. I said, oh my goodness, Petra, everything that's here, I know it. I've researched it. I have used it because I know what it does. And I said, I'm going to get rid of almost everything that I have, except maybe the estrogen that's from other things. But mostly everything else that's here, I've had to buy in separate different lots of vitamins and supplements, and you can get it all in the Elite. So I just wanted to add that, this has helped me. I've not had hot flushes I had hot flushes early last year. Kathy would tell you it was like the worst experience of my life. I did not know what a hot flush was like until it happened in February. We were on holiday and it was cold, and I kept asking everybody if they were hot. It was winter, and I kept saying, guys, are you hot? I'm hot. I'm hot. And about the same time, my hair started having changes and so on. And so I know Petra have spoken about Noni, and like we say, this is not a cure for anything. But since I've been doing Noni, my hair is flourishing. And I know, Kathy, you can put this in the chat, would testify to that, that our hair has grown. My hair is big now everywhere. My hair literally fell last year in February and stopped growing. And now I've seen the growth, and I'm so excited about that. So I want to talk about the body balancing drops. That is specifically what I'm going to share. And some of you who are here have already used them. In America, we call them Slenderix and Accelerate. And in the UK, we call them the body balancing drops. In South Africa, we have them as capsules. We will be having the drops, in fact, from April, from now, round about now, they're launching the drops in South Africa as well. So they will be in Southern Africa, including Lesotho and Swaziland and Namibia. So if you know somebody who's there, they can have access to these products, plus the Renew, as well as the Culturix and the Noni and a whole bunch of other products that we're not going to talk about today. So we use these drops and have used them. I've used them since August. And what has been amazing for me is that I had really struggled, and many of the people that you see on the pictures there had really struggled with weight loss and dropping the weight, especially around the middle. And we know that as we get older, I used to be the sort of person that thought I would never be able to gain weight. I promise. If you knew me in my 20s and in my teen years, they used to call me skinny, all sorts of skinny nicknames, because I was that sort of person that ate and ate and ate and never put on weight until my mid to late 30s. I was a size 8. And then UK 8, and then I started changing, and then I became a size a US 8, and that's different, right? Yeah, and I promise you, I have funny stories about my transitions, because I went shopping to America for the first time. I think it was the first time I was in America, and I was shopping, and I say to myself, I can wear this jean and that jean. So I went into a Levi, I think it was a Levi shop, and I bought this denim. And this lady looked at me. She's like, "Oh no, you're quite small. You're quite small. You need a smaller size." So she convinced me to buy this pair of jeans that were so much smaller than what I needed, because I had already bulked up in the middle, and this was beginning to happen. And many of us really struggle with that. And no matter what I have done, I've been in the gym. I had been in it. I have been spinning. I've been doing all sorts of things. Some of you have seen me in the gym working out. I would lose weight everywhere, but not around my belly, until the drops came into my life via Petra, who introduced me to this product last year in July. And suddenly everything changed, and I could sing a song about it. But what do these drops do? So I'm going to talk about the American drops to begin with. So they help control your appetite. They help to eliminate the fat stores, particularly around the middle and also in your liver. This is really crucial. And they also help us to boost our metabolic rate and to enhance our energy levels and stabilize our mood. You know, we've been talking about how most people feel fatigued, most people feel tired. Once I started getting into perimenopause, I literally used to drop out of bed. And I remember not knowing what was happening. I would cry for no reason. I would get into all sorts of scraps in town with traffic because I'd be upset for no reason. And I would stand there and be like, why can't the world just be what I want? And I remember having to leave for work one time. I would get out of work, just out of bed, just as I'm about to start work. And it was before COVID. And I would literally be dragging myself, getting to work at 9 o'clock, getting to work after 9, and not knowing what was happening in my body until I got myself tested. I had a hormone test that checked my hormones over 30 days. And we realized that my levels of my estrogen were fluctuating, my testosterone was down, my cortisol was exhausted, my body was under a lot of stress, and I did not know it. I had terrible hormone imbalance. And this is what the drops are doing, is that they're helping to bring back our bodies into balance as far as our endocrine system is concerned. And there's certain metabolic hormones that are important, like insulin, like cortisol, like ghrelin and leptin, which these hormones will help us to boost and create that balance. So they help us to improve those things, metabolism. They help to maintain your nervous system. Biotin is very important. I also had a little bottle of biotin. I was taking one little tablet a day of biotin. I have it still, as I stopped taking it since I started using the drops. It helps with chromium. Chromium is important because it improves blood flow to the muscles, to the heart, and to the brain. And it's actually important for weight loss as well. Very, very significant mineral that we need. And our night drops, I think what I have here are the night drops. The night drops help us with the different ingredients that you have there, like astragalus, holy basil, which we spoke about in the elite. And it also has L-glutamine and theanine. Glutamine and theanine are also important for weight loss. And acerola fruit extract, which is important for helping you relax and helping you to basically feel calm at night. And the overall effect of this is that you're going to sleep better. And when we have better sleep, that means that we also don't put on weight. Why? Because when we're not sleeping, which is happening because of the drop in estrogen and also the drop in progesterone, that's another hormone that we don't often talk about when it comes to menopause. When we have a change in those hormones, our bodies lose sleep, and sleep makes us feel stressed. Not having sleep makes you feel stressed. It literally creates a physiological response in your body that causes you to have more cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and cortisol makes us eat. It makes us hungry. It also makes us store fat. It holds on to the food that we have because our body feels, well, if we have all this cortisol, that means we're preparing to fight or to flee from something dangerous. And so we need to keep that, whatever energy we're eating, we need to keep it around in the liver or around the belly, very close to the liver. And that's one of the major reasons why, as we get older and as we're going through these phases of perimenopause and menopause, we are gaining weight around the middle and struggling to lose it. So the drops are going to effectively help you with all these things that are happening, your appetite, your cravings. I had somebody call me who started on the drops last week, and she rang me. She says, Edith, I know you've never heard someone say this. I said, what happened? She says, so I thought she was going to say something negative. She's like, you know what? I don't feel like eating. I feel my cravings are gone. My appetite is so good. I'm eating, but I don't feel like snacking all the time. And I'm telling you, this is amazing. So she watched Lyrical about how the drops have really helped her, the UK drops. So this is something that's very important. And that's why people lose weight, but also they're going to sleep better. And I'm just going to make a mention about the American drops. The Accelerate contains vitamin B12, and it contains vitamin B12 in a form that is easily absorbable and that actually is very effective and that supports your body more. And because the US drops are placed under the tongue, when you take them, they're sublingual. They go straight into your system rather than going into your digestion or digestive system, which some of us have flawed digestive systems that don't actually digest food properly or absorb food properly. So it's more effective when we take in our supplements under the tongue. So those are the drops. And many of you, you've seen the pictures. Many of the people who are here have been using them who are our brand partners. Thank you. You can move on to the next one. The Renew. This is my next favorite product. And I have been using this since probably right near the beginning of my journey with Partner and the drops. The Renew is fantastic for helping us sleep. It promotes deeper restorative sleep. You know, we're talking a lot about sleep, and I just want to go back to this sleep thing because that is one of the first things that you lose with perimenopause. And I know so many people who are not sleeping. Besides the hot flushes, which some people get at night sweats, it basically means that your sleep is going to be impaired. Most of us can't sleep that well when we're hot. And I met somebody who was fanning herself. It was winter. And she was fanning herself. I said, what's happening? She's like, oh my goodness, this hot flushes and so on. And I said, well, I don't get hot flushes anymore. And she was like, why? So I was telling her. And then she says, she always looks tired, right? One of my workmates. And I said, but you're always tired. And she said, the reason why I'm always tired is I don't sleep. I'm awake most of the night, and then I want to go to bed around 5 in the morning when I should be waking up. So I'm only getting like 2 or 3 hours of sleep. And I know I had a phase when I was like that. and I took a lot of magnesium, and it was hard for me to find the right magnesium. My GP advised me, like, get some magnesium, but I couldn't get the right type of magnesium. That's why the Magnico D that Petra spoke about earlier is really good if you're really struggling with your sleep as well. But sleep is important, and the Renew will help you with that. It will renew your sleep. It will increase your libido, your stamina. Your physical stamina as well. So it's used by people who are serious athletes to help them to do that, and also reduces that body fat and produces more lean muscle. So yesterday we were on a call, and one of the gentleman, he's a nutritionist and a kinesiologist, was talking about all these people that he's helped over the years in his practice as a nutritionist and a kinesiologist, who were struggling to lose weight, and he put them on the I'm going to talk about that later on, but he was putting them on Renew to help them to build. When we have more lean muscle, we burn fat more. That's an important thing. It is our muscles that use the energy. It also helps you with your skin and your hair, and I think that's one of the things that's happening with my hair growing as now that it is, and it improves your mood and your energy, and improves your cell regeneration. And I'm just going to talk about one of the things that we mentioned, Petra mentioned about the four things that we lose: sleep, but the cognitive function is such an important thing. A few months ago, I was watching on, and you can go look for this, Diary of a CEO, Bartlett. He was talking to a doctor, a lady doctor, who was talking about dementia. And one of the things she spoke about was why dementia is more prevalent among women. And that in actual fact, it starts in your 40s when you have that estrogen drop. And they've done studies, she's done studies looking at why this seems to be more the case with women, Alzheimer's. And they realize that most people's cognitive change happens in their 40s. And they start to deteriorate, what we might call just brain fog, memory fog. We laugh about it. We're like, oh yeah, I'm going through the changes. But what's also happening is that we're probably having more deterioration as far as our brain cells are concerned. And people begin to suffer that until it becomes full-blown dementia. And this product can support helping us and helping our brain not have that. Why? Because of what is called human growth hormone. Human growth hormone is a hormone that we need that helps to support the regeneration of cells, the regeneration of muscles, and keeps our body as youthful and young as possible. So remember, we're not curing anything, we're not treating anything or diagnosing anything. But if you want something, if you want your body to keep renewing itself, whether it's on your skin, cellular renewal is very important. We want our skin cells to be renewing more. As we get older, we get a slowing down of that until probably a cell is the only one that you have, and then it degenerates and basically you expire. So you want more cellular regeneration, and the human growth hormone is important for helping us regenerate brain cells, skin cells, muscle cells. So it's something that I decided I'm going to be taking times 2 every single day, because of the fact that I'm bulking up muscle wise. And as we know, as we get older as well, we lose muscle, especially as women. And it's important for us to keep that up. So it contains all those ingredients that you see. This has noni. The noni effect is powerful. It also has blueberry, which is an antioxidant, powerful antioxidant fruit, turmeric, which is and also supports us as an antioxidant. And we know turmeric has also great benefits as well. Carotenoids that are important for our eyes, blackberries, and then the amino acid L-arginine, L-lysine, and citrulline that are very important. Arginine, you can research it. It's a very important essential amino acid. And then you've got what helps us with our sleep, and then the vitamins and minerals that are also important. Vitamin B12, B6, and B3. Those are important for your nervous system. They're also important for your brain integrity. And then, of course, your magnesium and zinc and selenium and chromium. Chromium, we said, is important for energy and also for weight loss. You can move on to the next one. I think this is the last one. And I am going to share something I have been doing for a very long time. I discovered some years ago that our mental well-being is tied largely to the state of our gut. We often think of our mental well-being as, literally just the brain is doing that. But what I discovered some years ago through my work is that our gut makes 80% of the serotonin that we need that is responsible for how we feel, whether we're going to be happy or whether we're going to be sad. And a lot of the times it's dependent on these hormones like serotonin and dopamine and a whole host of others. And your gut makes your serotonin. And what makes the serotonin in your gut is your bacteria, your microbiomes. They're the ones that are actually responsible for doing that. Your microbiomes, believe it or not, are also the items, they are the beings. I call them beings because they are actually creatures. And they digest your food for you. You may not know this, but if you don't have good microbiomes, you will not digest food, particularly your plant foods, because your microbiome feed on the fiber in your fruit and in your veg, and by so doing, break down your food. Yes, you do need the enzymes as well, but the microbiomes are responsible literally for eating at that food so that it's more now available for you to absorb it into your system, and also for some of it to go out of you as waste. And this is very, very essential. That's why we need to eat lots of plant food, because your bacteria only like plant food. They don't like certain other things, right? So it's very important. But what I've been doing for years is using this plant bacteria. Now, I was using a different one from a different company, a different brand, but we have in partner Culturix, which contains 15 different strains of probiotics plus prebiotics. Prebiotics are what feed your your microbiome. So your bacteria that's in here needs to be fed. And inulin is a fiber that they put in here that supports feeding your bacteria so that your bacteria can be happy. And your gut acts as your second brain. So many of us, sometimes we're depressed or we've got brain fog and we think it's in the brain, but it's actually what's in the gut, what's happening in your stomach. And interestingly, did you know that your gut bacteria is also responsible for how fast and how effectively you lose weight? And this is documented. Many studies have shown that if you put people on the same diet, same exercise plan, and you give one set probiotics and prebiotics, the ones and you don't for the other one, the ones that are on the prebiotics will lose weight faster and they will lose more weight. So it will help you manage your weight, prevent bloating, it's for your nutritional absorption and to improve your memory and boost your mood in a nutshell. So this is something that I do every single day. And with the Culturix, you only take one a day, 1 hour or 2 hours before, after meals. And you can move on to the next. I don't think we have another. Okay, great. So we have gone through just 6 of the products that Partner does that we feel are really important if we're going to really support ourselves in terms of going through this phase of peri and menopause till hopefully it comes to an end. The picture that you see of me is from a couple of weeks ago in March. I took that picture at a spa where I was in walking near Reading. And I looked at that picture and I was like, oh my goodness, I look younger than I have done in a long time. And I was so pleased because before all of this that I'm using, and for some of you, it may sound like, oh my goodness, it's a lot. But we want to help you to curate what will work for you, what will be effective for you with your lifestyle. And so we have introduced some of these products already to you, the drops mostly, but we want you to know that there are other products that you can use, particularly that are going to be helpful for you in terms of dealing with the changes within your body, with your hormonal fluctuations, with the hormone balancing. I can't remember the last time I had a hot flush. I cannot remember the last time I had a sleepless night. It's been months since that was happening. And like I said, my hair is growing back. My skin is the best that it's ever been. And I feel awesome most of the time. I used to be on energy things. I'm not on those things anymore. I don't take any of that. Can you believe that, Petra? Did you ever believe that you could live without fizz? To take 4 of them sometimes. Oh my goodness, I literally lived on that stuff. If I didn't have
And
it,
we're still starting to drag, right? Like all of that. And that's what I love about all of these partner products from Partner Co. They don't have any stimulants in them. We have a new just going to share these real quick because again, the weight loss and the weight gain in the midsection is a very big concern. And we have a new product in North America, which is the Ab Advantage. It's a waist and hip reducer and a metabolism booster. And to have a metabolism booster that doesn't have any stimulant in it is really incredible. So you don't get the jitters, you don't get the shakes, you don't feel like all hyped up. And we're just, really running on products that are giving us energy at the cellular level and no stimulants. The drops in the US does have Accelerate. It has green tea in there, but not the amount to be a stimulant. It's a carrier for the nutrients. It's a carrier for the ingredients so that they get to your cells and they work. And I think that's also why we can feel balance right away, because it's nothing to like spike, your energy level with the stimulant and then you have a slump. What we're having is just steady stream of energy to be able to function, to be able to focus and concentrate, and then to take us off into ease into restful sleep and wake up feeling refreshed. And that is what we all want and desire. And that is what you can have. Just finding the right combination that works best for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Petra. Yes, anyone with any questions, please, we want to open it up to questions because I know we shared a lot. If you want to know more information, we will send you the product fact sheets as well, so that you can know more about each of these products that we've talked about today. And if you want to purchase anything, please go back to the person who invited you to this meeting today, or who has been serving you as a partner core brand ambassador, so that they can connect you to the products that you may like. Maybe I want to try. Maybe you may not want to try everything, but maybe you definitely need the Caltrate. Everybody needs the Caltrate. Everybody needs probiotics. I swear by probiotics because of the effect that they have, but also the amazing, amazing benefits that I have experienced personally from using them in terms of bowels and so on. So you might be like, well, maybe I want to introduce a couple of things this month. I've been using the drops, but I want to add something else. And I want to include that into my regimen of things that I'm using so I can see what it feels like. We want to encourage you to do that and have a conversation that will be helpful for you with the person that has brought you here, so you can put together what will work for you and what will help you as we all help each other to manage this season that we're in. And we want the visitor to go away nicely and not leave a mess behind. Okay.